So Yuji and Higuruma square up. Again, Yuji's just trying to get his 100 points. Really, Higuruma's just boxing because he wants the Culling Games to continue, but he doesn't really understand what's happening. At the start of the fight, he just immediately opens his domain. His domain is just a court with a judge where there can be no violence. He's the prosecutor, and whoever he pulled in is the defendant. They both get one chance to make their case to the judge. The judge knows everything about both people in the domain. It gives Higuruma one piece of evidence that could go for or against Yuji. Yuji gets accused of going into a gambling shop under the age of 18, which he really did. He tries to lie and defend himself to say he's innocent. As we all know, Yuji is just bad as shit like this. The judgment finds him guilty and punishes Yuji with confiscation, which is supposed to prevent you from using your curse technique, but since Yuji doesn't have a technique, it just takes away his cursed energy. Yuji's kind of like a sitting duck. Higuruma gets this mallet and just starts knocking him around, chasing him around trying to knock his block off. And apparently he can change the size of the hammer. He's about to crush Yuji, so he's like, think, what do I do? He remembers his domain is a court, so Yuji calls for a retrial, which saves his ass and gives him one more chance to defend himself in another case. This time, the judgment accuses him of mass murder in Shibuya on October 31st, talking about when Sukuna took out all those people when he was fighting Mahoraga. But Yuji's not even trying to defend himself. He says, yeah, I killed them. I'm not lying nor trying to deny it. He just gives a confession. So the judgment deems him guilty, confiscates his cursed energy again, but this time gives him the death penalty. This gives Higuruma the executioner sword that is a guaranteed kill if it cuts you at all. Higuruma is conflicted because the evidence the judgment gave him was about Sukuna taking over Yuji's body. So he knows he really didn't do it. Higuruma tries to amp himself up to kill him, saying no matter how noble a soul you wish to have, all people are flawed, all people are hideous, people suck, I'm depressed, blah blah fucking blah. Everything is darkness, there's no hope. Like really, he's just trying to convince himself. Yuji is contradicting everything he's saying right in front of his eyes. Yuji just starts throwing a bunch of chairs at him. He uses the chairs as cover to get right up on him, goes down to sweep the leg. Higuruma jumps and is in perfect position to hit him with the executioner's blade. Again, because he knows Yuji didn't really do it, he can't go through with it and lets the sword disappear, taking this punch directly to the chest from Yuji. Higuruma just lays there and is like, bro, your body was taken over by Sukuna. You weren't in control of anything, and you didn't give him control of your body at all. You're innocent. You're not at fault at all. Yuji still feels guilty about it and says it is. Says it's because he's weak. After hearing this and learning how Yuji truly is, he agrees to give him his 100 points and just wants to talk to him. So Yuji doesn't beat Higuruma, but through the strength of his character, he convinces Higuruma to give him his 100 points. He does try to recruit him, but he declines because Yuji makes him feel like a bad person. That takes us back to Megumi, who got tricked by this girl into following her back to her boss. And instead of attacking him, he can see that Megumi's strong, so he tries to recruit him. Megumi's like, alright, I'll think about joining if you give me all of your points. And this guy, his name is Reggie, he's like, nah, fuck that. So this other guy comes out of nowhere and tries to sneak Megumi, but Megumi dips into his shadow technique, grabs him, and throws his ass off the building while sending the dog at Reggie. Then he calls Nu while the guy is in the air to slam him into the ground. He then tells the girl to just get out of here. I don't want to fight you. I don't want to see your face again. Then an eyeball just comes out of nowhere and causes a giant explosion. Apparently, this dude can turn all his body parts into explosives and regenerate them. When the explosion goes off, Megumi runs in one of the rooms, but he grabs the girl because he's still trying to play Captain Save-A-Bitch. He knows they're just using her, but she's still trying to attack him. The guy he slammed into the ground pulls back up, so it's officially a 4v1. But at this very moment, you get the game notification about Yuji's rule change, and this makes Megumi smile. He just locked in. He summoned the giant elephant, forcing the dude out of the building and into the air, punches him on the way down, slams him into the ground again, but this time he puts bro out of commission for good and says he's just going to do all he can. He's going to try and get their points, but you can't get hung up on them. And he gets 5 points for killing that sorcerer.